Hello everyone and welcome back to our 10 new Android apps of the month video series. In this series, we curate a list of 10 cool new Android apps that were launched every month and present them to you. For the month of January 2018, we did the same and we have a couple of new interesting launches as well as major updates to some of the existing ones. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. Google launched the Art project in February of 2011, and it was intended to get rid of the geographical barriers that limits access to art. In 2016, as a part of the same initiative, Google launched the Google Arts and Culture application. It didn't manage to catch up at that time because it did not have really an eye-catching feature. But in the month of January of this year, they announced an update which took the world by storm. Google launched an update to the app which allowed users to match their selfies to faces in famous artworks. Now, this raised some concerns in a couple of countries, but overall, it did manage to get the app viral, and quickly the app was on the top charts of both the iOS and Android app stores. This feature is not rolled out to every country so far, but if you are in the US or UK, you can definitely try this one out. What's worth noting here is the fact that the app has been a victim of its own success and has raised privacy concerns among some users. But I'm pretty sure that as long as it manages to get the selfie match right, most users would be happy. Check this one out using the link in the description below. We all know Microsoft as the company behind the Windows operating system, but they managed to create some pretty great Android apps as a part of the Microsoft Garage Lab. Well, this next app is by Microsoft and it will help you declutter and organize your SMS. It's called SMS Organizer and it's been built from the ground up, keeping mostly the Indian users in mind. Yeah, that's the caveat about this app, that it's only available in India as of now. So once you download the app, you have to sign in, and from the get-go it'll move all the promotions SMS into a different section and keep the personal ones separate. Now the cool thing about this app is that it was recently updated to add finance cards, which we'll check out in just a little bit. So as you can see, the app is divided into 5 different sections, which includes the personal section, transactions, promotions, archived and blocked. What's really cool about this app is how it can automatically detect information like movie tickets, flight details, bills, etc. So let's go into the alert section and check out the finance cards that the app prompted us about earlier. So as you can see, it's showing us the balance on our different wallets and bank accounts, and we can go ahead and expand to see the transaction details, which I'm not going to do here for security purposes. Let's head over to the settings and see what else it has to offer. So right off the bat, you can see there are a couple of interesting settings here, like the dark theme, which I personally like, and then there's the backup and restore option, which is pretty cool. Because it can back your messages up on a weekly, daily or monthly basis. So I'm gonna set up a weekly backup and let's have a backup to the cloud right away. Alright, and another place where the app really shines is in handling OTP messages. So I'm gonna go back into my home screen and let's issue an OTP request from the Twitter app on my Mac, and as you can see, the OTP comes up as a heads up notification right on my notification shade, and from here I can quickly copy the OTP or delete it, which in this case I'm gonna delete. So it's a really cool app which is well designed and manages to segregate all of the SMSs that you receive and also offers some pretty cool features to manage your SMS. So you can check it out using the link in the description below. In the age of fast internet connection and a plethora of apps to consume content, it's pretty easy to get down that rabbit hole and get trapped. If you are a person who is concerned about losing their productivity, this next app is definitely for you. It's called App Block, and it basically lets you block certain applications for a specified period of time so that you do not get distracted while studying or working. So as you can see in the app, I already have a profile set which is called Focus, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and create a new profile and I'll call it Demo. And you can either schedule the profile to trigger automatically or have it triggered manually. So I'm going to go ahead in for the manual option and let's add a couple of applications to block. So I'm going to pick Apple Music and let's say Spotify for this example here, and let's go back. Now, so as you can see, the profile has been listed in the main screen right now. So we're going to go ahead and activate it for let's say 5 minutes. And as soon as I press the play button, I will not be able to access these two apps anymore. So let's go ahead and do that. And now if I open Spotify, it says it's blocked. And the same is going to happen if I try out Apple Music. So you can see that the app was blocked as well. The app block would also allow you to actually block the notifications from these apps so that you do not get any distraction whatsoever. A couple of things worth noting here is that you do need to give the app permission to access your notification and make system modifications. The trial version of the app would allow you to block 5 applications, and the pro version is available for 190 rupees or $2, but the rates keep fluctuating. So if you're a person who finds it hard to concentrate on work and keeps getting distracted by social media or notifications on your smartphone, definitely check this one out. TechLeela is a tech blog, so it's quite obvious that all of the writers here do a lot of writing. And my app of choice for doing that recently has been Dropbox Paper. Dropbox Paper is a simple, lightweight, minimal, and markdown supported writing application which exists on Android, iOS, and the web. It's pretty neat and offers some really cool editing features. So let's go ahead and create a new document to show you that. I'm going to call this one again Demo. And let's write a couple of things. So I'm gonna type in hello world, how's it going, and live long and prosper. Alright, so apart from having a distraction free writing environment, the application also allows you some pretty basic editing features on the bottom bar here. So you can go ahead and create a to-do list by entering items here. Let's say buy milk, buy bread, and breathe. Alright, and you can also add bullet points. So let's say thanks again for joining, and you have the option of adding images and the basic stuff. But where the app really shines is with the markdown support. So let's say I'm gonna type please don't make noise, and I'm gonna highlight the next word by typing double asterisk and ending it with a double asterisk as well. And as soon as I hit enter, as you can see, it went to bold. Of course, you have the option of making it bold or italic right here on the editing bar, but I'm just showing it for demonstration purposes that the editor does support Markdown. You have the option of sharing things. On the web app, you'll have the option of exporting this as a doc file or a PDF, but here you just get the basic minimal editing features. I used to use Google Keep before, but Dropbox Paper has really won me over. It's a free app and it's worth checking out if you do a lot of writing on the go. Next up, we have an application that will allow you to monitor your data usage based on your cellular cap or your Wi-Fi consumption. It's called Glasswire, and let's check it out. So the very first thing that the app requires is permission to actually visualize your data usage. So let's go into the settings and grant this access. And let's go back now. And now it says Glasswire needs access to the phone to visualize the mobile's data usage. So let's grant it access. And in a couple of minutes, it's going to go ahead and show in some statistics about what app is using the most data. So as you can see, it's giving real-time statistics on which app is using how much data. And if you tap on the charts, it'll actually tell you which app fired up the network call at what time. You can also go ahead and fine-tune the statistic and filter it out on the basis of days, hours, or minutes. So let's go ahead and try the 3-hour stat. And you can see we just have one spike here. Let's go for the 5-minute stat. And there's a more dense graph. The app also has support for themes, which you can apply as per your taste. And there are a couple of themes which are paid as well. Alright, let's go into the settings and check what the app has to offer. So the very first option is for alerts, which is going to give you alerts about how much of your data plan is remaining, if your data plan has exceeded, and custom alerts as per your needs. You can also configure what is shown on the notification view. So right now it's set at default, but we can go ahead and set it to the week view or the month view. And based on that, the visualization on the notification would change. So if it's in week, it's going to show us the consumption in weeks. And if I go and switch it off to month, you can see it says data used in February. So it's a pretty neat app if you are on a capped data plan and cannot afford losing even a megabyte. This app is going to give you really fine-grained details about the consumption of your data. Check it out using the link in the description below. The next app is another one of those which we at TechLeela use pretty extensively. It's called Grammarly, and it's basically an assistive tool that makes writing easier and less error prone. So let's get started and check this one out. First, we need to sign in using our Google or Facebook account. And since I am an existing user, I'm gonna have to log in using my password. And let's proceed with setting up the Grammarly keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead and tap add Grammarly keyboard and let's enable it here. And now let's switch to the Grammarly keyboard. So we can go ahead into the keyboard settings and manage our language preferences, which is British or American English. So I'm going to pick American English here. Let's leave everything else to the defaults. Let's go ahead into paper again and let's try drafting something which is purposely error prone. So let's go ahead and type hello. And I purposely made a mistake here, but if I hit space, it'll fix that. So let's go ahead and type things incorrectly on purpose. So I'm going to type may the force be with you, but I'm going to screw up the spellings. And as you can see, it does the autocorrect job pretty damn well, but I still prefer Swift key just because of the speed at which it makes me type. And after typing my stuff out, I can always go ahead and paste the content into Grammarly for having a final grammar check. But it's still worth giving a shot and seeing if it fits your need. So you can use the link in the description below to try this out. Alright, so moving along, we have the next app which is going to help you up your social media game. It's called Canva and it's a mobile app which lets you create beautiful posters. So I'm going to go ahead and first sign in using my Google account. And now it's going to give me a list of templates for what kind of post I want to draft. So let's go ahead and try out an Instagram post. The first one looks pretty good, so let's try that one out. And it's gonna load it, and now we can start editing this image. So everything here is editable. So let's go ahead and try out this confetti, for example. And once I tap it, I can now resize it or rotate it or move it around here and there. And I can even change what's written here. So let's say hello world, and I can go ahead and now change the font to, let's say, chewy, and the color to white, and the background transparency to, let's say, 70%. And that's about it. So if I am happy with this, I can go ahead and tap the share button on the top right corner, and let's allow it the permission to do that. And now I can basically go ahead and share this directly on social media or share it to friends on WhatsApp. And it also manages to save things in your phone's gallery just in case. So it's a pretty neat app if you're on the go and you have to post something, but the app includes a bunch of templates that you can try out, and you can definitely go ahead and mix and match amongst them. And you have options of creating posters, flyers, invitations, cards, Twitter headers, and whatnot. So in my opinion, this is a really great tool, especially for all the social media managers who constantly have to keep the engagement of their pages high. So if you fall into that camp, definitely try this one out. The link would be in the description. Moving along, this next app is going to let you clone applications within your phone. So you might be aware that on a single phone you can have only one instance of WhatsApp running, and in order to have two different numbers active simultaneously on WhatsApp, you would have to use an app like Parallel Space or something else. This next app is way more lightweight than Parallel Space and gets the job done in just about half the time. It's called Island, and it basically sets up a work profile for you to clone applications onto. So on the top left corner, I have two modes, which is Island and Mainland. Mainland would be my default workspace, and Island is the workspace where I clone the applications. So let's go into the Mainland section, and let's try cloning Signal, for instance. And now the app will ask me to confirm the installation of Signal as a secondary work app. So I'm going to go ahead and hit on continue and hit on install now. And in a couple of seconds, Signal would be installed as a work application. Before trying that out, let's clone a couple of other applications as well. Let's try out Telegram. And as always, we have to install this as well. So let's wait for this to complete. And now that both of these apps have been cloned, we can go into the app drawer, and you'll see that there are two instances of Telegram and two instances of Signal as well. So if I open my regular Signal app, it says that my inbox is empty, although I have it set up. So let's go ahead into the cloned Signal application, and you'll see that I'm onboarded, and now I'll have to sign up using a phone number. Same would happen with the Telegram application, where I have a couple of threads in the app, but on the cloned app it's a fresh install, and I'll have to set it up from scratch. So this is a very lightweight solution if you want to have two different accounts for the same application running on the same device. Check it out using the link in the description below. Alright, so we are heading towards the end of this video series. So the next app on our list is called Shortly, and it's basically an app that will allow you to get some reading done based on the time you specify. So this is going to help you out with those small bus commutes where you are looking to kill some time. So I'm going to specify 3 minutes as my reading time, and let's click on read. And as you can see, it presented me with a story that I can complete in under 3 minutes. Now, if I go to the footer of the story, I can share this, or I can proceed to the next story, and it will immediately load a fresh one for me to kill some more time. Let's go into the settings and check out what it offers. So there's the theme option, and let's go back by hitting the X mark on the top left, and let's reduce the time to 1 minute and hit read. And as you can see, this time it presented a smaller story. So it's a really cool app to get some reading done, especially when you are free between meetings or during lunch when you're by yourself or any other situation like that. The way in which it works is it pulls in the stories from a Reddit thread. I highly recommend this because I have been using this quite extensively since the past month. So check it out using the link in the description. Alrighty, so we are finally at the end of this video and we have our last app, which is called Split Screen Creator. So Android Nougat launched the split screen feature, which allowed you to use two apps at the same time. But there wasn't really much customization that was offered. Samsung did take it to the next level by offering app pairs. What that allowed users to do was create predefined pair of applications which would launch at the same time in split screen mode. Well, if you don't like the Samsung side of things, like me, this next app is for you. It'll basically allow you to create pairs of applications which will launch at the same time. The app requires accessibility service enabled, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And let's grant this the permission. And now that that is done, we're going to go ahead to the home screen and add the split screen widget. So let's go to the S section and let's drag a new widget and let's pick Dropbox Paper along with Google Chrome, and let's call this writing, and let's create the widget. So now you can see I have an app pair or a split screen pair, whatever you want to call it, and when I tap it, both the apps would launch in split screen mode at the same time. It's worth noting, however, that the app is still pretty buggy and manages to crash every now and then. But it's in active development, so you can expect things to change pretty soon. Use the link in the description to check this one out. Alright folks, that's all that we have for you this month. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all of our content. If you like this video, throw in a thumbs up so we know we are doing a good job. Until next time, this is me Prateek signing off.